27 names, and she also asked you if you could connect with any name beginning with an N.
Is she the one that did it? They like have her up there on trial like a witch.
In the ones that were accepted, you did accept 9.
She's just sitting there like, do you have any gin, darling?
These were some of the categories: a son, a lodger, a brother, a nephew, an adopted nephew, a grandfather, a fellow worker, a cousin.
This is all very interesting.
That's right.
Context. And I'd like you to take your own pace when you feel like you want to try anything.
Right.
Do you want to try that particular experiment first?
When I'll feel free.
When
Okay?
you Sure.
We'll start eliminating the ones that do not have the water.
All right, without touching them.
He is really suspicious, you know.
Yes.
I'm having a hard time with you.
Okay, I don't mean to be, Yuri. I really don't.
Just keep looking. Okay, let me rest a little, all right?
All right.
He's a fraud. He's gonna get caught.
No, I'm surprised because before this program, your producer came and he read me at least 40 questions you're going to ask me.
Well, I can ask you all kinds of questions if you'd like. If you'd like me to ask you questions.
I have to have time, and
Fucking charlatan.
Turn the page of a telephone directory without touching it. And you claim to have done that with psychic power.
Oh, man.
Now, you're prepared to demonstrate your psychic powers again. You've warmed up. You're ready to go. Are you, James? Very well.
It's not gonna
James,
work.
You are prepared to pay him $10,000 if he can turn the page of the telephone directory with certain controls.
Oh,
That's
God.
right. You have the $10,000, do you, Randy?
I do
Guy
indeed.
on the left is like, I'm in too deep.
Now, what I have here is particles of
got
a
that
white
far away, look
plastic,
at his eyes.
which, when given a good heavy puff of air, will, I think, rather conclusively show whether or not
That guy's
blowing
like,
is a method accomplished. Now, it will
fuck.
not perhaps occurs.
Yeah,
James?
ready?
more interesting than that haircut or that outfit. He's fucked and he knows it.
He looks like the ace of spades.
The styrofoam and the lights form electricity which pulls the page. Look.
He's blaming it on static electricity.
It pulls the page down.
All right, Randy, is there anything else that you can put around the telephone
Does
directory?
that make sense?
I've heard the question, but the question is not valid because it's making an assumption which is not true. The foam does not in any way create static electricity, and Mr. Heydrich, in demonstrating that the pages were clinging together, didn't demonstrate it to my satisfaction. I think we could perhaps ask the judges for their opinion on that. I am not a scientist, so I'm not qualified to declare on it.
Judges?
Whatever
This is
static
it.
electricity exists in the styrofoam would not really affect the movement of the page or the clinging of the pages together, in my opinion.
I would add that if this is in fact psychic functioning, I don't really see why that would make a difference.
Very well. Randy, would you allow me to turn perhaps half dozen pages and then put them back?
You got it, sir.
Oh, yes, you may do that, please.
James? I'll just lift up 1,
Have your pet spayed or neutered.
2, be helpful to you.
The static is going to still be here because of the foam. See, that's
Well,
what I'm
it is
saying.
the opinion of the judges that there
Is
is
this
not enough
live on
static
TV?
formed by the foam.
I doubt
to
it
be a
ever made
problem.
TV, but
So,
they're fucking this guy
under
hard.
the conditions agreed upon, it would seem that now you should at least try with psychic power to turn the page.
He's
of the
shitting in his
telephone
fucking
James.
kimono. He's fucked and he knows it.
Shit in his kimono. Fucked up my trick.
Here's my meal ticket.
I bet you if he had used fishing line, it still would have worked.
Maybe if he hadn't lied to everybody. Did you think he was doing it?
It's not going
I
to
thought he might be
turn for you.
trying.
No, it isn't. You know, to build
Look at
up
my
my own self.
Face.
So this
Well,
is, you know,
the,
it isn't a trick. It has to be done. You know, this is just, it's power. It's mental power.
The conditions agreed upon have been fulfilled.
Bob, the comment very briefly is that
Just having
I
a
have
bad
gone
day,
through many
okay?
hundreds of these tests with many hundreds of people who claim to have psychic powers. And quite frankly,
this guy's got the
it's more or less
psychic
the same
power.
story every time.
The
When
size
it's
of his
simple,
head.
direct,
He's an
very
energy
uncomplicated
vampire.
protocol is used.
Please try to locate the ore sample taken from the same piece of zinc ore which is hidden in one of the boxes behind us. Of course, if chance alone were operating here, you'd have a 1 in 7 chance of finding the sample.
Fucked. I'm fucked. I'm fucked. I'm fucked.
Guesswork alone, we'd
I'm on
expect
T.
The needles right down to your fingertips, and you just go hot for a second.
Yeah, yeah.
What
Thank you
we're
very much.
concerned
It's
with
been-
tonight is
it's been
whether
great to
or not
humiliate
it's
myself.
possible
Who are we gonna burn now?
receive an aura through obstacles. And to determine that, we've agreed upon the following experiment.
Why would you
Step
choose
over
these
here with the
tangible
We're now
effects?
going to reveal to our audience here in the studio the 5 volunteers.
And why
behind
would
the
you go
screen.
on the show
Each
knowing
one
what they
is
do?
Standing beneath a letter A, B, C, D,
Money.
and E.
I guess.
Now, James.
These guys are like, all
can
right, I'll
you
take the
see
10 grand.
all the auras through this screen here.
Yes.
You
Call
can.
me out, I don't give a
I'm
shit.
now going to position C, please.
Oh no. He could be really
Oh,
wrong, like
God.
all 5.
As you claim, you can see auras through the screen.
As you
John
claim.
should now be standing in the same position as he was when he was behind the screen. Is that correct?
Yes.
Now, will Helen please come forward? Helen will step out from behind the screen.
Project confidence. If you're right, they'll be
Now,
amazed.
James, from what position?
Cindy
did
Lauper,
Helen
what are you
come?
doing here?
D.
From position E.
Knows he's fucked, so he might as well answer
Would
quick.
Danny step forward, please. Of course, there's no choice about which
B, C, D, E,
letter,
yeah, go,
James
yeah,
thinks
good.
you are. So, Danny, you'll take up position E. Am I correct?
Palms are
Okay,
sweating.
fine. Just a moment ago, these 5 persons.
If anyone's ever had a heart
standing behind
attack on the
screen.
show.
James, if you have them all
Maybe
in
he's
the
good at
correct order, it will
memorization,
be
so he
good
just remembered the
evidence that you
shadows.
can see auras through screens, as you have a less than
I don't think that he
1%
saw the
chance
shadows,
of
did he
matching
though?
all of
They
these
just showed
5
to us.
correct
Oh, maybe he
by
didn't.
chance
Oh
alone.
yeah, his back was turned, wasn't it?
By chance alone, you should get the
This guy's about to have a
expectation
fucking
is
heart
perfectly
attack.
correct, if it's only chance. Let's see if James managed to beat the odds. These 5 people, I
Look at
ask,
his
please
face.
reveal which position you were originally standing in by showing us. I think it's inside your hat, isn't it? Take them off and let's see. C, B, D,
2 right.
A, and E. So
Oh,
out of
2.
this, we obtained 2 correct. All right. So, James, you got 2 out of 5 correct, and I take my hat off to you.
No, we don't understand quite how this works, but we have to make the link with the spirit and then hope that it will make
John
sense
Cleese?
to somebody in the
Partner in
audience.
crime.
I see. Well, I'm going to back off the set now and just let you do your thing.
I'm gonna let you hang yourself out here.
Here's
Someone
the
from
rope.
the world of spirit. Stephen will tune in. to
Yes,
the
dear, I'm doing it, dear.
spirit.
It looks like Basil Fawlty.
If what we're getting makes a lady who makes me feel terribly, terribly short of breath. She would have
Maybe
suffered
it's all this
either with heart
lying.
trouble or possibly even
My stress
Having
is
a
through the
panic
roof.
passed with a
Panic
chest
attack.
condition.
Heart condition, angina. I feel she went silently, quietly in her sleep.
I know a man called William Butler.
Good.
Whose wife passed away with angina.
Yes.
But I've got to say that picture doesn't look
The
like.
picture doesn't fit with her. That's fine.
No.
As long as the details are right, we may be able to piece it together if we can. We're working under very difficult circumstances here. We're trying our best.
Can
Yes, dear, I'm doing it, dear. I got a sense of the spirit. Well, dear.
Face. At least try that.
Certainly will, yeah.
Would you do that?
Will do,
Thank you
yeah.
very much
Thank
indeed.
you.
What a waste of time.
Thank you very much, Carl. Now, Carl said that the face she has drawn
Oh, I
should
almost got
mean
us there.
something to somebody in our audience. Is there anybody here who can relate to this picture? Please vote if you think you recognize the face.
We have voting stuff.
Well,
King
10 people
George.
say they recognize this face, which is odd since you said, Carl, that only one person should relate to it. Perhaps this drawing is not as specific as you think. Well, thank you very much anyway.
Savage.
Carl and Stephen.
Seething. Seething.
What I want to try to prove is that thoughts can be transmitted
I live for that moment.
from one person to another.
Terrible.
You can see their eyes just go.
It's like Ralph in that Valentine's Day Simpsons.
Are you connected, Ron? I am.
You see the moment his
Glad
heart
to know, man, it
breaks.
feels well connected. Norman, would you please tune the machine
Bullshit
for us
detector.
now? Ron, how can we tell when you are receiving Norma's thoughts?
I shall get an erection.
Also, there will be a rise in the sound.
I'll send you
Electrodes
like
up
this.
his ass.
Okay,
Great.
that's the official signal.
Because that
and
sounds
you
not
will
high
signal
enough.
Norma to start sending thoughts. Okay, Norman?
That's quite all right.
The garage door's open. Get milk when you come home.
Very good. We're going to seat Ron facing in the opposite direction. Ron, would you swivel around, please?
Turn around, you phony bitch.
And now I'll signal when Norma is to start sending her thoughts. I will give the same signal, and under these conditions, we'll see what happens, all right?
I'm fucked. Norma's actually a fax machine. She's just trying to get a cover letter through.
Okay, Norma, would you stop the signal, please?